And joining us now to talk about the tragic deaths and what makes somebody a storm chaser or makes them want to be a storm chaser is Tim Baker. He's a storm chaser. He was in Oklahoma. And Tim, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, talk about what happened to these three men.
Well, you're talking about three very professional storm chasers, and that's, I think, what's rattling the community. We expected some chasers to be killed sooner or later by tornadoes, but not Tim Samaras. I mean, the guy was as professional as they came. But he did do what's a little bit more dangerous than most chasers would attempt. He does try to get in front of a tornado, to put instruments in front of it to measure them, because he was doing scientific research with his chasing.
So he would get in front of it. How close is in front of it?
Well, he sometimes was only 20 seconds from being hit from the tornado before he got his instruments down and out of there. So
how do you do that? You speed away in a direction, straight. Like if it's approaching, you just go straight in that direction, or you go to the side because I know they're like a mile wide. How do you get away in 20 seconds?
Well, that's just it. This tornado was unique because I think the outside rotation was about 1.5 miles wide. But it had these small funnels within it. So you could have easily gotten the misunderstanding that the funnel was still 0.5 mile, 3/4 of a mile away from me. But in fact, another funnel would drop right on top of you exactly where you are.
Wow.
So this was a very dangerous tornado, and a lot of chasers got caught. Unfortunately, some got killed, but a lot of chasers had serious damage from this.
Well, okay, you say it shook up the chaser community because of a guy of his caliber getting caught like that or killed, in fact. So going forward, does this affect you? Do you believe it will affect others, either to leave or to somehow modify what they do?
Sadly, I do not believe it'll change anything at all. The storm chasers have been getting more risky every year. Each year we've been saying somebody's going to die. We're getting too risky. I don't think that risky behavior will change at all. It's going to make everybody contemplate and realize what we could die from. Because up to this point, we kind of brag, well, there's no documented case of a known storm chaser killed by chasing a tornado. Well, we've got our documented case, but knowing most chasers, they're somewhat addicted to chasing tornadoes. I doubt it will curb them. It may just stop other people who thought about it from doing it.
Now, we're talking about tornadoes in this point, but is it tornadoes? That's not the only kind of storm that's chased. I mean, that's the most violent, and it comes the most quickly out of nowhere, and does the most damage. But are there hurricane storm chasers or other kind of storm chasers, or when someone says storm chasers, are they only talking about tornadoes?
Well, it used to be that way 10 years ago, and then there'd be a handful that did hurricanes. But now pretty much everybody that chases tornadoes will be out chasing hurricanes when that time comes. So even that's getting more congested with hundreds of chasers out there to try to film the event.
And is that, I would imagine chasing a hurricane is a lot less dangerous, or am I wrong?
It's actually more dangerous because you're not only dealing with high winds, which cover a broad area, which you can't escape because it's covering 150 miles sometimes, but also you have storm surge and heavy rainfall, flooding, so the risks are actually much greater in a hurricane.
And what do you make of the rash of tornadoes that have hit, over and over in the same area? How unique is this in recent decades?
Well, unfortunately, Oklahoma is known for having its strong tornado alley in that area. So historically, one should not be surprised to see that many tornadoes. It's just in such a short span, I think, is what caught everybody off guard. It was just so close together.
How long have you been doing this, Tim?
It's about 20 years now I've been out chasing storms, and I started out not knowing what I'm doing at first, and I've survived.
And do you take readings as well, or I know you work for various weather, predictors and services, and occasionally TV stations will hook you up, I guess. But is that why you do it, or do you take measurements in addition as part of those responsibilities?
No, I am not part of the scientific community. That's a very small percentage of storm chasers. So there's probably, less than 20 real true researchers out there. The vast majority, the 1,000 or so chasers out each week, are typically people like myself who shoot video and sell it to the networks. But also, we do often give the first inclination that a tornado is on the ground because we're right next to the storm.
Right.
So the radar sees the tornado, and we're there saying, "Oh yeah, it's on the ground. We guarantee it."
Well, stay safe, my friend. Tim Baker, storm chaser. Appreciate your time, sir.